Well, summer, the lack of routine, it can certainly do a number on your teen's mood and behavior.
Yeah, we had the chance to speak to Dr. Laura Saunders about the issue. Take a look. Well, is your teen moodier than usual? It may not be their fault.
Dr. Laura Saunders is here now to explain the teenage oracle. Welcome, doctor.
Hello, friends, and happy Wednesday.
I don't know if we can wade through the whole segment because Kara and I both want to know, what is the most annoying sentence in the English language regularly uttered by teens? I know we might want to get to that a little later, but it's a suspenseful sentence.
It is a suspenseful sentence, and I'm going to keep you waiting.
Okay, very
because
good.
What we need to realize is that, in summer, we have no structure, right? A lot of, especially those middle teens, like 13 to 16, that can't really get jobs, and they don't, they might be too old for a lot of camps. They're just laying around the house. And that can be very irritating for parents because they're not doing things. They seem moody, they seem irritable. And to some degree, this is typical, right? Last week, we talked about, how do we know when that irritability or moodiness or low energy is pathological and it hinders their functioning. It's a little harder to tell with those, especially those early teens, but there's 4 tasks for adolescents: individuation, separation, autonomy, and cooperation. Now, I'm listing cooperation last because it comes towards the end of adolescence.
I just said to Scott,
when you hit 20.
I just said in front of him, like, how long till the cooperation phase?
Yeah, you gotta hold on because that's not going to come anytime soon.
Darn. Okay.
And really, it's just all this is indicative of rapid emotional development and rapid, serious physical changes. And it's really considered a period of heightened stress for everyone.
Now, again, is there a way that a kid can get through adolescence without a sense of heightened stress? Or everybody's got to go through it?
I think to some degree, everyone goes through it. And it's also based on sort of your temperament, right? Temperament's the word we use for children and adolescents. Personality is what we say for adults. But if you have a more easygoing temperament, it might not be so bad. If you have a more difficult or anxious temperament, it's going to be really hard for yourself and all the adults around you. Because the important task is identity development. Who am I? What are my values? Who am I like? Who am I not like? What do I want to do with my life? It's difficult.
So you say periods of limit testing and defiance are just part of the game plan, I guess. But how do we help parents? How do you know, like, what's normal or what kind of limits can we set without causing too much conflict?
So I do think, and I have a tremendous amount of empathy because I'm in this myself. I do think that limit between giving your adolescent a little bit of independence, because remember, individuation and separation are 2 major tasks. You have to give them some autonomy, but they have to know where the limits are because they will push everything right to the limit. So knowing where the limits are, using consequences if you have to, because they will push everything to the limit. So really being very careful and clear in your expectations. If you're going out with your friends, I expect you to be back at this time. If you're staying in the house, I expect you to do A and B chore today and be off your phones, right? So making expectations as clear as you can. You will likely need to repeat them and you will likely need to reinforce them.
I guess we should cut them some slack. I mean, we all went through it.
Yes,
I went through it. You went through it. They're all going through it. So we should just come in a little easier, no?
Yes. And that's why, I do say to give them a little bit of that emotional space, right? I mean, they're not all going to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning like they have to for school. They need to sleep more because actually sleep is how they rejuvenate their bodies, right? Your physical body needs to sleep and your mind needs to sleep. So I do advocate giving them a little slack, but having some limits. Sleeping 15 hours a day or 20 hours a day is unacceptable because that's not healthy. But giving them some leeway, giving them some things to do. I will tell you from my clinical experience, the parents that really come down hard on their teens, those teens rebel in other ways that are much harder to control. They go to substances, they go to nicotine, they go to, risky sex behavior. So I'm not saying to totally let them do whatever they want, but I'm saying monitor, supervise, set limits, and keep an eye on them.
So we have a minute left now. Do we get to know the famous sentence? I need to know if it's being
Well-
said.
Most annoying sentence in the English language uttered by teens is, I know, I know, I know.
Yes,
I know.
Along with,
How do you know? How do you know? You're 15. How do you know? You don't know.
No,
I know.
I know.
which has turned into, there's that, I hear that one a lot. And now in the newspeak, it's turned into, I got it.
I know. So annoying.
Mom, it's 2021 now.
You don't know
okay.
anything.
I know.
You don't know anything.
I know. You know what my dad used to tell me, and I find myself using it? I have forgotten more than you know. They don't like that, though.
Yeah, they don't like that either. They don't like that at all.
You know, there's a famous Mark Twain quote, right? When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant, I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he learned in 7 years. Mark Twain.
And on that note, we have to let you go, but we want to thank you for all of your expertise.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Have a great
Take
day,
care.
Doc. Take care. It's amazing how much he learned in 7 years.
I
right?
love it.
All
Love
right.
Dr. Laura. So funny.
We've still got so much more for you on this Wednesday edition of Better Connecticut. Up next, it's Recipe of the Week. Sounds good.
Sounds delicious. And you're not alone if you have concerns about your kids going back to school. We'll explore what has parents worried the most and what you can do about it. First, though, let's check on today's news and weather from Studio A.